Okay, this is Ixl U section U4, area of sectors. Okay, a sector is just a portion of a circle. So if we understand the area of a circle is pi r squared, what that really is, right, is this. It's the shaded in area of a circle. So if I'm looking for a portion of that, maybe something that looks like this, I just need to know what percent this takes up of the circle and just multiply that by the total area. So how do I do that? I use degrees. We know there's 360 degrees in a circle, right? So my formula for the area of a sector is just your degrees, all right, your measure of your degrees of your sector divided by 360 times pi r squared. Forgot the equal sign. Okay, so think of it as it's just a portion of it. And how do you find that portion? You figure out what angle it is that takes up the entire circle and you divide it out. So it's really just going to be a percent, right, of the total circle. Okay, so on this particular problem, we are going to say the area of that sector is going to be equal to 72 divided by 360 times pi times r, which the diameter is 10, so the radius is 5 squared. Okay, so if we do that out, 72 divided by 360 is 0.2, all right? Or you could reduce this, right, to 1/5. That might actually be an easier way to think of it. Times pi times 25. And 25 divided by 5 we know is 5. So the area of my sector is 5 pi. And that would be your answer. Okay. Now, if you had kept this as 0.2 and multiplied 0.2 times 25, 20% of 25 is still 5, and you'd still get that same answer. Okay. Let's look at one that's a little bit harder. Okay. The diameter of a circle is 16 feet. What is the angle measure of an arc bounding a sector with area 8 pi square feet? Okay, so now we know the diameter 16. So sometimes it helps if you write below that the radius is 8. Okay, and it just kind of as you go through the problem. Okay, and then we know the area in this problem, right? So, and we're looking for the angle measure. So we just set it up and we say, all right, area of my sector, right, is equal to my degrees of my sector piece, right, divided by 360 times pi r squared. All right, we're just taking our area formula and we're multiplying it by the fraction which represents our sector. That equals my sector area. So in this one, they're giving me the sector area. It's 8 pi. Okay, I'm looking for the degree, so we'll call that x. 360 times pi, and I know my radius is 8 squared. Okay, so now we have 8 pi is equal to x over 360, and that is equal times 64 pi. Okay, and if I divide this side by 64 pi and divide this side by 64 pi, the pi's cancel, and over here I'm left with 1/8 is equal to x over 360, right? And then I multiply both sides by 360. And you could do this in one step if you wanted to. And you'd end up with 360 over 8 is equal to x. All right, and then you just divide that out. And you know the answer is 45. And I'll write it over here. 45 degrees. Then just go back and make sure your answer makes sense, right? If you come back here to your circle and you say, all right, well, I know that's 90 right here, right? And that looks like it's about half of 90, which is 45. So you'd be suspecting that your answer would come out pretty close to that. Okay, so hope that makes sense. That's kind of one of the challenge problems, or pretty close to it. That's about as hard as those problems get on that IXL unit. Let me know if you have any questions.